Hi, I'm Jodie Studley, naturopath here at Trig Medical Pharmacy. Inflammation and dysbiosis in the digestive tract can have many causes and can take an element of trial and error to establish the triggers. Generally, the quality and quantity of different bacterial strains in our gut can be the reason for your discomfort. Some easy steps to begin with that can help us build a bigger picture is to know what your transition time is. Now, a transition time is the time that it takes for your food to travel from your mouth through your digestive system and be excreted as a stool. When the transition time is very slow, it causes constipation. Food remains in the digestive tract for way too long and begins to ferment, and more water is reabsorbed and the stool dries out, and this can cause bloating and pain and can be caused by the food fermenting and feeding the bacteria to produce toxins. When the transition time is very fast, it leads to diarrhea. Food then is not in the digestive tract long enough for efficient absorption of nutrients to occur or water to be absorbed. You may have seen undigested food in your stools, and this leads to malabsorption and dehydration, and it can be quite dangerous if it goes on for a long time. And it's an experiment that you can easily do at home to find out what your transition time is to eat a food source that is hard to digest and easy to see in the stools, like corn or white sesame seeds. Take either a cup of corn or 2 tablespoons of white sesame seeds. Note the time that you actually consume them, and time yourself to the first time that you actually see them appear in your stools. And that amount of time is then recorded as your transition time. It gives us a good indication as to whether food is remaining in your digestive tract for too long or whether it's passing through too fast. On average, it takes about 24 to 72 hours for food to pass through your digestive tract. Another step is to start a food diary. I've got an example here, and what this is just you keeping track of the foods that you've eaten, either over, say, 3 days up to a week is usually enough time, and you note all the food that you eat. You note the time that you've eaten it, and perhaps even how much of it you have eaten, and the effects that it has on your body. You note how much water you've had, if you've had alcohol, tea, coffee, juices, cool drinks, all those things. Mark them down. You note whether you have noticed any intolerances to any foods in particular that are making you upset. If you've got any food allergies, take note of those. Are you craving anything? Perhaps you're craving sugar, or maybe you're craving salt or carbohydrates. Note it down. Any foods that you won't eat. Anything that you particularly upsets your stomach, or you perhaps don't even like the texture of, write it down. And a stress score. How stressed are you feeling that day? Are you particularly stressed, or are you feeling pretty chill? Write it down. It's all relevant. Stress has a big impact on the way we digest our food, and it's a good indicator also. It affects the transition time of food as well. Any hunger signals. Do you feel hungry? Perhaps you don't feel hungry at all. Note it all down. It's all very relevant. And what we do with this information is that we can get a clearer idea as to foods or eating habits perhaps that may be having an effect on the way you're digesting your foods. Write down as much information as you can. Nothing is too obscure or irrelevant. So what do you do with this information? Come and see us at Trig Medical Pharmacy and ask the question. We may be able to give you some simple solution over the counter, or if your health concern is more complicated, then book in to see the naturopath for a comprehensive health assessment and get to the real cause of the problem for health and healing. Thank you for joining me today.